Like gatekeeper, I stay my post. When I come out, I then get post. Cause I pull up inside the ghost. And me and my fellas, we make it toast. And I feel like today. That's my daddy, Baba Logre. Go yellow, I'ma kill off more time. And I feel like today. That's my daddy, Baba Logre. Go yellow, I'ma kill off more time. Cause we're not the same. Not one of them. Cause we're not the same. Not one of them. I just stay my lane. Not one of them. Cause we are not the same. Not one of them.
Alright guys, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. For those online right now, confirm you can hear me, you can hear my voice, and you can still hear the music. Good evening everyone, welcome to Organized Living. Alright, maybe drop in the charts something. I just need to know that you can hear me right now. Alright guys, drop it on, let me see.
I understand that you understand all that I go through. In the midst of the storm, you they carry me go through. You know, go leave me lonely. So I believe you only. Out of the dry land, say what I just they pour for me. Bad man, them I gather all of them just they fall for me. You know, go leave me lonely. So I believe you only. You made me strong like a rock.
Okay, so I guess we just go into today's business. Just a few folks will join us on the way, and of course this is also recorded. Some folks will be out partying right now, but organizing continues. Alright, so welcome everyone. My name is Timi Awesu. I would like to meet you in the chat. So you can just tell me your name and tell me where you're listening from. Just give me your first name. Just say, for example, say I'm Timi. I'm listening from Lagos. Just that kind of thing. I just want to make sure that you can all hear me. So I'm Timi. I'm listening from Lagos. That kind of thing. Alright, so drop it in, guys. I can see some other folks. Okay. I'm listening from States. Alright, welcome to yeah, who else? Like a few other people on the call right now. So I can see Tayo, I can see Gloria, I can see Noel. Alright, where are you listening from? Alright, we just wait 2 more minutes for some other folks to join in. Glory says, Glory to the years by name. Where are you listening from? Not gonna try to deny you like Alright, so let me just take that as a good place to start. Or actually, we still have 1 more minute, so let's still do 1 more minute for some other folks who want to join physically.
You got the whole in your hand. Within the past, you know
I want to share the link again. So what you can do for me also is to share this link for this particular meeting to your friends. Just one person extra. I'm about to do that also. One more time.
He's always there, man. He's always there to console.
Jesus, you be my commander. Anytime I need you, the answer.
That's why I give thanks to you, Father. If it wasn't for you, I could have been in this last time.
We don't live before blessings. Everything I want, I want. Everything blessed.
That's exactly by 7:05. All right, a good place to start actually. Okay, so welcome again, everyone. My name is Timi Awesu. I am sure you are supposed to be seeing my screen and also supposed to be seeing my video. If that is positive, just type 1. If you can see my screen and at the same time also see the video, please type 1. Just type on 1, man. All right, come on, let it come in. All right, there's the 1 there. Okay, Glory says 1. You can see my screen and you can also see my video. Just in case you are aware you cannot watch the video yet, but you can also hear my voice. Please type in 1. We have a couple of us here, so it will be good for us to respond. All right, guys, welcome to Organized Living with Timi Awesu. I'm excited doing this. I always try to wait for the next and the next and the next, because it looks more like we are on a journey instead of, it's not just a meeting. It looks like you're on a journey. So you have people always having to refer to the previous things we've done in order to be able to it helps them to track. So once I go through the previous folks, you would see how we have been able to do this every quarter. That's once every 3 months. Since 2020, it's been consistent, it's been steady, and it's helped a couple of people, right? So as you can see on your screen, what is OL? We call it OL. OL means organized living. And what's the singular purpose? It's supposed to help individuals. That's professionals, students, and also really busy people who work on personal goals that matter to them in the long run. Really, it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to get into a position whereby you have too many things going on, and before you know it, you have 10 years gone, you have 20 years gone. So organized living is supposed to help you focus on the priority. It serves like a reminder. It serves like a meeting where you come to make sure that you are on track, because in life many things happen and it's very, very easy to lose track of things. All right, that is organized living. In case you are listening to this for the first time, in case you are listening to this recording for the first time, in case you are also here for the first time, welcome to Organized Living. I'm excited to be here, and I hope you are also excited. So give or take, we should be done in about an hour 15 minutes, or max an hour 30 minutes, meaning that by my time it's 7:08. Give or take, by 8:30 we're done, max. Minimum of an hour, maximum of an hour 30 minutes, sharing insights and also measuring ourselves with the goals and the targets that we're supposed to accomplish. So if you are here, you are goal driven. If you are here, you have things that you always bring to book, that you need to always track, that you have purposes that you don't want to lose track of, regardless of how professional you have become. Organized living is the kind of meeting that helps you remember, helps you put you on track, to make sure that you are still in that phase where you are fulfilling what God has told you to fulfill, what you have sensed deeply in your spirit, side by side your business, side by side your school, side by side your work, your 9 to 5, right? All right, so moving on. For those who do not know me, my name is Timi Awesu. and I'm a first class graduate of physics. I'm project management professional certified by PMI US. I'm currently doing my MBA in Quantic to end next year. Also, I'm a strategy execution coach. I love coaching a lot. I love helping people. So if you go to my website www.timiawesu.com, I'm like a bridge that help people fulfill their assignment. So when you meet me, it's expected that I serve as some form of bridge towards where you are and up to where you are going to. So that's the kind of person I am. Like that's like my kind of thinking, you know. Okay, I do other things aside from organized living. I really do a podcast week on week for Beauty Men Thoroughly. Then I also help coach students in academics so that they can come out in first class like me. Anyway, so if you are here, you're a student and you are here to join academic mentoring class, you should join academic mentoring class, right? Organized living is one aspect of what we do. All right, so moving on, experience. My experience around this, I've helped tens of people achieve their short-term and mid-term goals as a strategy execution coach. I hope a few of them will be able to join in while the meeting is on so that they can say a few things. But I've been doing this since 2012, literally, but I started organized living like about 2 years ago. So more like there's been a whole bank of experience, right, that helps you have that intelligence to guide people on their goals and targets. I've been an addict for goals all my life. I like goal setting and I like goal getting. Okay, so some of these skills that I've acquired that have helped me to be competent is that I've become like in quotes, an expert in time and action management. I help people do some form of procedural planning, meaning that if you need to break things down such that procedure, I'm your guy. I help people declutter their thinking, meaning if they have too many things going on and they like to have a level of focus and a level of alignment, and they have too many things, I'm the guy that comes and asks interesting questions through specific probing and coaching techniques. We hope, and then also I'm a trained complex problem solver. In a few years, of course months, this will be easy to get a coaching license and make all of this much more heightened. All right, so welcome. That's a brief of who I am, just for those who do not know me. And yes, so if you're here for the first time, on your screen right now, I think you should look at your screen, even if you're in traffic. Just quickly look at your screen. On your screen right now, you are seeing that organized living has started since October 2020, and we started with the foundation framework, fulfillment, and the follow-up of OL. Then we started mutating. We at some point we did alignment, staying focused on your true goals. Then we went at some point we did what is your strategy, right? And we also did gaining momentum on your target. So if you are here, you've never listened to any of this, you can go to timiawesu.com. You find it there. You can go on YouTube and type Timi Awesu. It's going to come out. You're going to see some of these stuffs there. And also we have the earlier ones, we have just the recordings, like the audio recordings. So you can literally send the same email you registered in. You can literally send him an email to request for it. It's free of charge. You have an audio there. Also, we'll do a compilation. If you have joined our community, we'll do a compilation for you and just pull it down into that community. It's all free of charge, literally. So moving on, we had some points we had to do execute now. That's October 2021. And then at some point again, we moved in January this year, we did priority, how to think, plan, and execute first things first. Then in May, we talked about reroute, renavigate, and recalibrating your targets. Then in August 2022, that was the last organized living before this one, we did executing by design versus default. And here we are in December. We are talking about, are you on course? Are you on course? It's a question. Are you on course? And its keys of mastering stability towards your target. All right. If you can still see my screen and you can hear me, type 11. Come on, guys. If you can still see me and you can hear my voice and you can see my screen, just type 11. Type 11. 11. 11. All right, Ajoke 1-1, Queens 1-1. Hi, Queen, good to see you here. Tayo, good to see you. Glory, good to see you. 1-1. Thank you for Sholola, very consistent guy. All right, so I'm hoping that a few folks will be able to join in. Taiwo, Falev, Tolulokbe, thank you. 1-1. It's exciting knowing that you can hear me. All right, I didn't tell anybody for this. I've stopped telling people before now. If you are here, you've attended Organized Living more than once, I would like to hear from you. I would like to hear from you, maybe one or two people. So far, what did you think Organized Living has helped you to do? Like, what has been your experience with Organized Living so far? You know, how has it helped you? What new thoughts, either from the last one or from, if you have attended at least once, what has been your experience? All right, so does anybody want to say something around that? You feel free, you can also type if you are too shy to talk, but I don't think anybody should be, because the more you talk, the more you know how to talk. Just like you were when you were a child, you did not start that by just keeping quiet. You learned how to talk by talking. So I feel everybody should know how to talk in public. So yes, what has been your experience with Organized Living? How has this quarterly class helped you so far? Anybody wants to say something? Feel free. I might as well just give some beaten up US dollars. There's some USD. I might as well just give somebody who is able to demonstrate that properly. All right. So, what has been your experience with oil? Anybody? Feel free. There's a reason. I've seen some people who have been here 2-3 times. Why are you coming back? Why are you listening? Do you know why are you plugging right now? Anybody? Is anybody saying anything? All right, so I've seen a few people 2 or 3 times here, so I'm going to call. So, Sholola Victor, are you in a good place to speak? Victor, Mr. Victor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Bitcoin guru, the crypto master. All right, so how's been your experience with Organized Living? How's this quarterly class helped? Personally.
All right. I think personally, actually, it has shaped my mentality and then my life to live actually an organized and balanced life, and my perspective towards things. So it has helped me a lot in that aspect.
All right, thank you, Victor. Victor says that helped him change his perspective around living balanced and more organized. All right, I used to see Glory Oyeshiji now. Yes, Oyeshiji. Glory, and I also used to see Favor. How you doing? I think Favor, this is not your first time. All right, Glory or Favor, who wants to pick it first? Glory or Favor? Go ahead. That's Glory or Yeshiji or Favor. How you doing? How has this quarterly class helped you so far? Glory and Favor don't want to say anything. We're waiting for you.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening, Favor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So really, I know I didn't tell you before, but
Actually,
how has it helped you?
I feel that organized living has, in a way, it has helped me to be able to balance out my schedule, know what to prioritize, and actually how to set like efficient goals that can actually be actualized within
Alright.
a reasonable time.
All
All
right.
in all, I feel it has actually made my life better.
Interesting. Thank you, Favor. Thank you for speaking up, even though I didn't tell you before now. Glory, do you want to say anything, or we should just move on? Hi, Glory.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Glory.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what's been your
Okay.
experience with OL? How has it helped you so far?
Actually, this is my first time attending this organized living, but I've been a member, though I've not really been attending. but I've been consistent about academic mentoring class.
Oh,
I'll just say that being in any of these groups has helped me in my academics, in my life pursuits. It has helped me to be more focused on my goals and achieving and getting the best out of life. So it has, like the lessons I've always learned, has always shaped my life in the right position and always keep me on track and never to relent or get tired in what I'm doing, and also to be able to get consistent, to keep on doing what I'm doing consistently.
all
So
right.
that's it. Sir.
Thank you, Glory. Beautiful stuff. Yes, Glory mentioned academic mentoring class. I also mentor help students achieve their goals. You know, we have a book we wrote last year for students. It's still on sale. Academic Excellence Demystified. If you've not read that book and you're a student, I think you should read it. It's just 1,005 or 2K right now. All right, so moving on. Thank you guys for speaking up. It's just to help others who are just coming, and also I know there are a few people that are there that don't want to talk, but it's all right. Let's just move on. All right, so we are moving in that properly now into today's meet. We've done 15 minutes of the introduction, 15 minutes of getting testimonies from all of us, and I would like to start today's session. So if you're here, you need to get out a book or a notepad or your phone to be able to type out something. You will learn something new. You will learn something new. So in 2003, I got admission into school. That's secondary school. 2003, I went to Command Day Secondary School, Oshodi, the barracks, and as a student in secondary school, GSS, just one, just two, I didn't know so much around life. Of course, just like every student, I entered. They used to say, "Oh, you're an average student," and all of that beats, all of those stuff. So yeah, we just kept doing secondary school the way we used to do it, and just having fun, trying to get your results or your academics, trying to do what you know how to do. Then in SS1, SS2, we started offering this course called guidance and counseling. I don't know if anybody here, you started doing that in your school at some point. It was not always there, right? But when we go to SS1, SS2, this should be 2006, 7. Sorry, I'm sounding old. 6, 7. If you did guidance and counseling in your school, can you just type in a session? Yes. If you did guidance and counseling at all in your school, because I did, because when we got to SS1, SS2, they told us that, okay, guidance and counseling is one of the courses you must do. Nobody in this place did guidance and counseling. Oh my God. So I did. Well, in my school, in secondary school, it was compulsory. And it was one of those what we considered boring courses. We considered it boring courses, right? We considered it courses that, because you are not writing, you are not doing anything, it's just somebody sitting down and advising you and, trying to know who you are, understand that and how you are making your decisions. It looked really boring. And it was in one of these classes, one of the days, the woman just entered it and she just said, "Everybody bring out your notes," and all of that. She told us a story about a girl who, was sent to school, but later started doing boyfriend and girlfriend. Then at some point got distracted. Then it affected her mentally. Then to the point that when she was reading a book, she'd be seeing the face of her boyfriend inside the book. So the story was really graphical in her minds. And I would never forget the title of that specific class. The title of that specific class was "Are You on Course?" I can't remember her name now, but she was an old woman with grey hair. It stuck with me throughout. She just came and said, "Are you on course?" What do you mean? What do you mean by "are you on course?" Right? She began to explain how it is easy to be distracted from the things you want to do with your life and all of that. Then fast forward, that is 2007 or 2008. Fast forward to 2022. While I was thinking about the next class that we're supposed to have for organized living, it just occurred to me that a few people need to be asked that question. A few people need to be to use. It's a question that unveils your present state. It's a question that if you're able to answer correctly would determine your trajectory of the next 10 years if you're able to answer it properly. If you know how to ask this question and answer this question at specific junctions of your life, you will be a master goal setter and goal getter. If you are with me, please type 2. I just want to know that you're still with me. I currently have about 15 of us here. If you are with me, type 2. Just need to know that the network is not playing prank on me and that I'm still loud and clear. If you're with me, please 2. All right. Glory is saying 2. Taiwo says 2. Gabriel is here, says 2. Tayo, Patrick, welcome. Yeah, good. Glory, Noel, Mary, welcome, Mary. Majoke, Elizabeth, good, guys. Thank you for typing in and knowing that the network is not playing pranks on me. So from that day, when anytime I was in anywhere and I needed to get a pulse of what I'm doing, the question I would just ask myself, that woman's face is too very visible. She would say, are you on course? Are you on course? So I used to ask myself, are you on course? I never knew I'll be doing organized living in a few years. So I just knew that, are you on course? Is that question that gets me back, especially when I'm distracted, right? So I'm going to be asking us about 10 to 12 questions. And the purpose of this question is to help you. This particular organized living is going to be very introspective and practical. I'm not going to be talking too many theories and I'm not going to be talking too many analysis. I'm going to be talking the things that are going to be happening are going to be very, very specific, right? And one of the questions you want to answer from this particular event or that we're talking about right now is, number 1, where am I now? This is a question you need to answer yourself. Where am I now? Where am I now? This question is supposed to help you. Sorry, I'm hearing myself from somebody. I don't know if it's I'm hearing myself. Okay, it stopped. All right, it stopped. I think a door was open or something. I can hear myself. Okay, it's better now. So where am I now? This principal question helps you each day and every time of your life. If you can stop and ask yourself, where am I? And notice that you cannot ask this question and get an appropriate answer if you never started out with a goal, or you never started out with a plan, or you never started out with a vision or something to look up to. While it is important that you ask the question, it is important that some things would have happened before now. Please find time to visit my YouTube page. Ask for this thing. They are free. There are specific courses I had done specific how to set your goals, how to accomplish your goals, how to plan, how to use the calendar, how to use the to-do list, how to use the mind map, how to use tools that will literally help you, time management techniques, how to use blocked form of thinking to be able to accomplish your goals, how to do multitask, how to, I've taught a lot about these things in the previous teachings. So I would advise you, if you don't know any of this, if you don't know how to set your goal, if you don't know how to do your master plan, if you don't know how to do your monthly goals, your weekly goals, your daily goals, I taught about these things in previous teachings, and I taught about the tools you can use for your monthly goals, for your weekly targets, and for your daily target that now lines up, to your master goal. If you have some of these things, where am I now is a very important question for you, because it is a question about being on course. So, but if you have not done all of this before, it is still a very important question to ask, because an answer to this kind of question is, I'm just there. I'm not doing anything. I don't even know where I am. I started out without a plan. This question, where am I now, is supposed to cut across your spirituals, That means your walk with God, if you're a believer, or if you do things in church, your personal work with God, it's supposed to cut across your spirituals, it's supposed to cut across your finance, it's supposed to cut across your education, your academics, it's supposed to cut across your work, if you work already, cut across your business, where are you right now? Because it's expected that you had targets, months. For those who have been following organizing for months, I wish out have targets, have specific targets, have short-term targets, have mid-term targets, have long-term targets. So this question is not going to be difficult at all for you to answer because you have done some previous work. So these are part of the top questions you want to ask to be sure. If you can answer this, it helps you know. It's just like we are going out, right? If, for example, you need to go somewhere and you got lost, anytime you pick your phone and you call the other person on the line and says, I'm lost, what should I do? The first question the person will ask you is, where are you? If the person asks, where are you, and you don't know where you are, it will ask you, describe the things around that you can see. So if you want to verify whether you are on course towards your targets, these are part of the questions you should ask. Please write it down, screen grab it, it's free of charge. Number 2 question you want to ask as a way to verify whether you are on course or not is, what is my report card saying for this week or for this month? Let me tell you, those who are intentional, organized livers, who are creators of their destinies, who are creators of their life, who are crafting their life according to principles, they have systems to ensure that they have feedback from time to time about their life. And their life here it captures their spirituals, captures their professional, their education, their relationship, their health, their assignment and purposes, captures also their finance, right? And or any other area that is important to you. So what is my report card saying for this week or this month? What does this mean? This means that if you are able to understand what your report card is saying, meaning that you must have a tool to measure how your week is going. What is your report card saying? Did your report card say maybe you plan to have a blog in the next 5 years that can have at least 10,000 subscribers, and right now you're on 0, you don't have anything, but you need to have content consistent for the next 1 year? If you break down that goal to a month goal, it tells you that you must have a minimum of at least maybe 10 or 5 blog posts every month. So if you have to break it down to a week, it means that you must have a minimum of 1 blog written every week. Having a minimum of 1 blog written every week can now serve as your report card. So see, fulfilling goals and fulfilling destinies and fulfilling calls are not really complex. It's just that people think they are far away. I have taught countlessly about the concept of time. What you are supposed to do with time is to use time as a tool. Time is not supposed to happen to you. You are supposed to use it as a tool, because in the beginning, when you were created in Adam, God had created the sun, the moon, the stars, and he said they are for seasons. So man was created over time. So time is supposed to be a tool for releasing all that you are supposed to be. So you need to have tools to be able to measure what your week is saying, what your month is saying. I'm telling you, these stuffs like this are what people you look up to do, either consciously or subconsciously. What they do is week on week, month on month, they are able to track whether they are making progress or not. So when we're asking, are you on course? It's not just a question out of your head. It's a question that you can answer. So if you're supposed to write 500 blog posts in the next 5 years, that is 100 blog posts in a year. 100 divided by 12 should be around 10 per month or 8 per month. 8 per month means about 2 a week. There is no way you will consistently do that for the next 1 year that are not going to eventually have 100 blog posts. While the frequency will change, the consistency would make sure that your big goal happens. But if you don't have a report card, if you don't have an attitude that is tracking what you are converting time to, you can't even measure. You don't even know whether you're on course or not. Most of us just expect the things that we desire, the goals God has put into our heart, the visions, the plans to just happen. No, it won't just happen. You need to chunk it out and you need to start in a minute version of that which you have seen. Number 2 is, what's my report card saying for this week? So do you have a tool that measures how your week goes with respect to the areas that are important to you? With respect to the areas that are important to your purpose, your call. See, some people work 9 to 5. They've been working 9 to 5 for the last 10 years. They have not moved in the original intention and original design that God has for them. And they have been working for 10 years, 5 years, 10 years. And at the end of the day, they now work like 20 years. They now feel unfulfilled. They have all the cars, they have the things they need to enjoy life, the basic things they need to enjoy life. But they are dissatisfied. Because they were waiting for a time. One time, something will happen. I've thought about maximizing and knowing how to use distraction to your advantage. We are all distracted, including myself. Every one of us is distracted. But those who know how to, I've forgotten how I taught it in that last organized living, how to use distraction to your advantage, how to plan your distraction. That's it. Planning distractions. You should get that particular teaching. Number 3 way to be able to know if you are on course, to answer the question. I hope you are screen-munging this. I hope you are writing this down. To answer the question, are you on course? This question should help you. It's not because the answer to are you on course is not a no, yes, no. There must be a set of things that come together to ask if you are on course or not. That is why you have to measure yourself against yourself, not against another person, not against what people is doing or are doing rather. Because if the moment you begin to measure yourself against how another person is doing, you can never know whether you are on course or not. You will be confused per time because you are using a wrong metric. Number 3 question you want to answer to know whether you are on course or not is, which voice is currently speaking to my decision making? Which voice is currently speaking to my decision making? Is it social media? Do I have coaches and mentors? Do I have accountable people? Is it my parents? Is it my friends? Which voice is speaking to my decision making? That's how you can know whether you're on course, because you already have where you are going to. And where you are going to has a picture. Right? So, if where you are going to is, say, maybe in the next 10 years, you want to be, let's say, a pilot, or you want to be something, major in the real estate industry and all of that. I say in the next 10 years, I want to be a real estate mogul. I want to be able to have bought maybe 100 lands, make sure that I've sold about 50 of that land to the biggest companies. That's your desire, that in 10 years you'll be a real estate person. You cannot be listening to certain voices now, because if you listen to somebody who is thinking about being a teacher, and you are factoring their voices into your decision making, you will not be able to. You are not on course. You cannot be on course, because the voices that are speaking to your decision making are making sure that from time to time they will make you out of plan. So that's why you need to categorize which voices are speaking into my decision making. Do you know God? God speaks, and God is supposed to be one of the voices that man listens to in order to do his destiny. But some people don't even know how God speaks or what God is saying. There are voices of mentors, coaches, friends, people that are supposed to speak into your decision making. Some of us, it is social media that is speaking into our decision making. It is what we are seeing in the life of celebrities that are speaking into our decision making, and it is affecting you because you're no longer on course. This is one question to ask. Another question to ask is, Which signs am I seeing on my way? These are top questions to ask to be able to be sure whether you are on course or not. Which signs am I seeing on my way? If you traveling, if you travel by road a lot, especially in advanced countries, maybe go to US where the distance between one state to another state, just to drive can be 7 hours. Drive between state to state. What you begin to see signs on the way. They'll tell you, okay, sharp bend here, this here. Then at some point when you are going, you see big signs that says, okay, you are maybe 2,000 kilometers. It's even on the Nigerian roads too. You are 2,000 kilometers to Maryland, or you are so this to so place. If as you are going to your destination, your master goals, the things, the destiny that you have seen that you want to pursue, if by the time you keep going, you can't see the signs, or you are seeing signs, you are seeing wrong signs of different places, it means you are not on course. Because if you are moving closer to the destination that you have in mind, it is supposed to help you. You're supposed to see signs on the way to know that you are moving closer to where you are going to. You can't be saying you are going to US and you are seeing signs of Pakistan. It means you are not on course. And some of these signs that you need to begin to look out for is what kind of opportunities are coming to me. Am I getting closer to the mentors in this industry? Do I have pastoral covering if it's to be, a ministry kind of something? What signs are you seeing? Are you attracting people that are in the same community or industry? What are people calling you for? Who is responsible for your when people need a problem to be solved, what kind of problem do they call you for? When people see certain opportunities, maybe for example, my wife, okay, somebody said yes, I'm married now. My wife likes fashion. Because I know she likes fashion, anytime I'm on Instagram or something and I see a star, right? Because I know she likes fashion, she sews and all of that, I can grab it and show her. Now, the reason why I can stop and show her is because I already know her interest. So for you, what signs, what do people call you for? What do people send to you? If it's only bad things, irrelevant things that people are pursuing for you and always drawing you to, it shows that you are not on course. You said you want to be like this in 5 years, but right now you are not like that, because the signs are telling you that you are not going in the right path. You are not going in the path. Another question you want to answer that are the top questions is, what kinds of minds surround you? Who are your deep friends? Who do you share value with? These are questions you can answer to know whether you are on course or not. And these questions help you form where next you'll be going to. What kind of, in your workplace, who, in the people that you work with, in your business, what kind of people supply something to your mind? Who are they? Because you cannot be hearing negative voices and expect a positive future. What communities surround you? Number 6, what coaches and mentors and teachers supply guidance? Because you are going to a destination, you need somebody, you need a LASMA if you're on the road. If you miss road, you need an FRSC, for example, to say, okay, go here, stay here, there's something there, go to that place. What coaches and mentors and teachers currently supply guidance? There has to be people who supply guidance, because this is how you know whether you're on course or not. Some of us have been navigating life without direction, without help. Counsel is the ministry of coaches, teachers, mentors, people who have gone ahead of you, that God connect to you in order to help you in line with your targets and goals. It's not a by force relationship. It's not a relationship that should bring out comparison. It's a relationship that, according to the laws and principles of life, there are people who would have done, who are doing, who have gotten to the exact place you desire. You need to connect with them. These are the ways whether you know whether you're on course or not. Because if for the last 5-10 years, nobody, no coach, no mentor has been speaking, contributing guidance to your life, you might not be on course. Number 7, how do you know whether you're on course or not? Did I measure progress so far? This is December. Did you measure progress this year? Or time just went? Did you measure? How do you measure? You can see the guy in the picture. You have to have a start. You have to have something okay, this year, I said, in short, I didn't accomplish some goals, I should not lie. And at the same time, too, some goals I didn't plan to accomplish, I also accomplished it. So, but some goals I set out with that, this year, I wrote it down in my master goal, like I teach, because I do what I teach. I wrote it down, I planned it, and one of the goals I had was that I was going to increase my email listing for organized living to 2,000. As at January, it was 200 and something or 300 and something. Right now, it's just 600. Almost 600. And this is December already. The only way I knew that is because I was measuring. So, how do you know whether you're on course? Are you measuring progress? Are you not, hope you are not just crying and say, God did not answer me. God did not. No. See, these are laws that God put in you and I, in the earth. Engaging God for answered prayers is another law. But there are basic laws and principles that God himself constituted the world with in order to help you and I, man, function. If you are with me, please type A, letter A for alpha. I think I should take a break right now, maybe ask a question or something. If you're okay, Noel is raising up his hand, Glory is raising up, saying A, Toby Creatives saying A, Elizabeth A, alright, Shola is A, good stuff. So let me pause here. What has jumped out for you so far? Which question out of these first 7 questions have I asked that really, stands out to you already? Because I still have about 5 more questions before I now talk about the keys to measure, to ensuring stability. Because one of the problem about being on course is people are not stable. Today they focus, tomorrow they don't, they are like this, they are distracted today. So we'll talk about the keys for that. But these questions are supposed to help you quickly, know where you are. And you should have some points already. So which of these questions, anyone, just chat. You can drop it in the chat if you don't want to talk. Quickly helps you, brings to mind, this is 2022 ending already. Which of the points so far. So I have talked about where am I now? Which questions are you really taking? What is my report card for this week saying or for this month saying? Which voice is currently speaking to my decision making? Which signs am I seeing on my way? What kinds of minds currently surround me? Which coaches, teachers or mentors currently supply guidance? Then did I measure progress so far? So which of these questions quickly stand out to you? Okay, Precious Akono is saying, what kind of minds surround me? If you are able to answer this question, you will know whether you're on track or not. The questions are the answers. Okay, Moreni Keji is saying that, which kind of voices am I listening to? You see, once you answer this kind of question, you already know, no, okay, I'm speaking about where I'm going to already, right? I can't get there because I'm listening to the wrong voices, right? Elizabeth says, which coaches, teachers, and mentors currently supply guidance? That is important for Elizabeth. Another Rutai is saying, which signs am I seeing? That means you are supposed to pay attention. The social media is there to take off your mind from paying attention. I can give you 100%. Facebook is not really out for you. Instagram is not really out for you. They want to keep feeding you so that they can ensure that they meet their metrics. They can advertise to you. So it's not really free. What you think is free? Somebody is paying to make sure that you see, and so that they can increase. It's $1 billion market. So let's not go there. Toby Creative says, what kind of signs? What signs am I seeing? Lucky says, what kind of voices am I listening to? These questions would help you plan 2023. That no, this year I listened to these so wrong voices. It did not help me. That's what is called being agile in tech. Agility. Because I did project management, I skewed a little bit into agile, into Scrum. In Scrum, there's something they call agility, the ability to be able to measure and see, we're not making progress in this thing, and they move. Instead of being dedicated to a wrong past, instead of being loyal to your past, be more dedicated to your future. Instead of being dedicated to something that is not working, it's obviously not working. Your attitude, the way you're thinking is not working, but you keep investing in that your bad attitude, and it's not yielding anything. It is important to be agile enough to change. This is why coaching sessions like this are important, because they're not about perfection. They are just to help you measure growth, to ensure that you are growing. The next question here is, did I have milestones to my target purposes? Many people are always discouraged because of their targets. It's too big. When will I get there? First class is hard though. First class is not hard, really. Okay, did I just say that? Is first class hard? It's not impossible, but I will not say it's entirely hard. It's a little bit somehow, but it's not impossible. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. I think that's the right word. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. Because what does it mean? It means get a minimum of 4.5 every semester. That's it. I have 10 semesters. Make sure that I have 4.5 in all the 10 semesters. That's meaning of first class. Now, if I'm able to get first class in the 10 semesters, I will come out to the first class. I don't need to pray for a first class at the end of the day. I just need to make sure that for this semester I'll have 4.5. For this semester I'll have 4.5. So when you have sufficient enough 4.5, you have just predicted. What does that mean? That is the reason why school was broken into session. Milestones. I think I need to do a teaching power session on milestones. Most people do not. We are used to, or we have heard too much about setting goals. We have not heard so much about setting milestones. My brethren, my people, milestones are powerful. Milestones give you a feeling of movement. Milestones make you know that your small efforts are not wasted. Milestones ensure that you have a feeling, an endorphin rush, that feeling of progress, even when you have not gotten to the big goal. That's the power of milestones. When Anchor was telling me I'd done over 100 and something podcasts, I was shocked. The target was simple: do one podcast every week. That was just target. Do one podcast every week, and at the end of the day, back to back, did it for 2-3 years. You are seeing 100 and something, 200 podcasts, taking and written books out of the same podcast, and you are surprised, like, how did you know? It's the power of milestones. And for whatever God has called you to, for whatever purpose and target God has called you to, it is broken in phases. And in those phases are milestones that must be accomplished. You cannot swallow the goal once, my brethren. You cannot. It's impossible. You literally have to break that big thing that has been up and down into milestones and accomplish the milestones. It could be in months. That is why you see the end of the year thing is not a big deal. We have made it into 2022. Glory be to God. Yes, but see, I taught in the last organized living that your time is in your heart. Your time is not in the front, it's inside you. Your future is right trapped into you. If you are able to develop the system to ensure that you bet that your future and have systems like milestones, you will have a sense of movement and you'll be able to measure. Did I have milestones towards my targets and purposes? If I did, where exactly am I? You should be able to tell us that, okay, I said I'm going to save ₦1 million this year, for example. Let's say that's your own goal. I'm going to save ₦1 million this year. I'm currently making 100,000 naira. If I want to save ₦1 million this year, 100,000 times 12 by the end of December is 1.2 million. 1.2 million means that I will only be surviving on 200,000 for the whole year. Is that reasonable? Does that make sense? No. That means two things I have to do. Either I increase my stream of income or get a better place, right, to be able to accomplish that, or reduce my goal to be able to, for something that is possible. Then the milestone says, in a month, okay, if I want to do a millionaire in a month, it means I have to do 50,000 or 60,000. Okay, 60,000 times 12 is 720. Okay, it's, let's say I need to do like 90k to be able to do it successfully. If I need to do 90k a month, that means I cannot be doing 100,000. From financial budgeting, I should know how much I'm spending in a month. Let's say I'm spending maybe personal, everything, maybe 100k, and I want to save 90k. Meaning that the job you will take after you have eaten, you've done all your old things, must be able to supply you with at least 90,000 naira left. The math is not hard. That is the power of milestones. So you know that this month, if I'm supposed to do 50k or 70k, and I'm consistent with it, there is no reason why you will not have a million naira in December. And this is just a small example of things that can be applied. The same applies to your goals, the things God has called you for, the vision and dream you have been dreaming about. Oh, I've seen this, I desire this, I've seen this. It has to be broken into milestones. Did you do that? Number 9, how slow am I moving, or rather fast? I remember this cartoon I watched. Am I too slow, or everything else is too fast? Forgotten the name of that animation. But the question here is, how slow am I moving, or rather too fast? This question has nothing to do with what people think, but has everything to do with what God has called you to become. Because people measure slowness or fastness with respect to what they are seeing another person doing, or what they are seeing manifest in other people's life. No. That's a wrong metric, because their own time is in their hearts too. The opportunities, each person is a complex representation of small actions that determine our life. So you cannot, it is I don't know what's the word to use. It's not heresy, because it's not Bible. It doesn't make sense to compare your life with another person's life, because the factors, oh God, if people here know this, comparison will die. The factors that come into making somebody's life their life is too complex. There are too many moving parts. That ensure that people, okay, 1 minute please. I mistakenly hit my light. Okay. Who wants to help me? Lami J, welcome. I just saw you joined. Hope you're good. All right. Please give me 1 minute. Let me fix this. Good evening, Lami J. All right. So I think I fixed it. Okay, stay. Moving on. So how slow am I moving? Or am I moving rather too fast? You will know this question if you have appropriately set a clear target. Then you can know that the way I'm moving, the end of 2023, before I'm able to come out with this plan. So I'm supposed to increase it or not. That's how you know whether you're on course or not. See, all of these techniques are into principles around us. If only we will pay attention. There's a way you keep driving that you will not. That's why I like Google Map. If there's a kilometer per hour you keep driving, that you will not get to where you're going to until 3 days time. And there's a specific kilometer that you begin to walk and you get there in 2 hours. So how slow are you moving, or how are you moving rather fast? It has to be tied to know whether you are on course or not. Then lastly, what has changed when I began? These are questions that you ask yourself. You know whether I'm moving in the right path or not. Some people are consistently asking this question. So it improves their level of navigation. So it improves their level of what they do on a daily basis. They have fun, they have luxury, but they're able to know the things that matter, because they ask these questions subconsciously or more consciously when they come for meetings like this. What has changed when you began? What should change now? These are questions, top questions you need to ask to help your being on course, to help you know whether you are on course or not. So I want to ask you, today is December 26, 2022. Are you on course? Another 365 days is going to come. Would you be on course of the things you have put in your heart, of the things God has put in your heart, of the assignment, the visions, the things that must be accomplished? These things will not happen themselves. That is why your mind, your heart must be in a good state for these things to happen. There must be things in your life to support it. There must be information. I will talk about that. Let's move on to the keys of now. I'm getting to the action step because I don't like teaching things without action step. I think it's not about motivation and motivating people and you're happy. There has to be execution, because that's why I'm a strategy execution coach. I tie your strategy, what you have done with your mind, to ensuring that you execute and execute on a daily basis. The number one key of mastering stability towards your target,
it's 8 o'clock,
is the law of focus. Can somebody tell me one time in their life where they needed something so badly and they had to forget everything else? When was that? That you needed to pass an exam and you forgot everything? Or what time? Can somebody tell me? I want to show you a principle you applied, but you didn't know that you applied it. Or maybe you knew, but now it was time for you to apply it in other areas. You now forgot. Okay, Lamije says Cambridge A levels. Who else wants to help? What time in your life where you really needed to do something, so everything looked like there was nothing else in the world, only that thing that you needed to do? I want to show you something you did it though, but now when it has to do with applying it to the areas of goals of your life, you are forgetting. All right, who else wants to help us? What were you doing then when you had to shut out everything and had to look at just one particular thing? I think for me was when I was doing my PMP exam. Okay, Toby Creative says I'm currently preparing for my exam this year, so I have to forget every other things. All right, good. When I was doing my PMP exam too, one 4-hour exam like that, when I was preparing, I forgot everything, literally. Some people, it's when they are preparing for specific programs. Maybe, for example, Lamije is a YouTube person. Maybe when she's shooting a video, she just shuts out everything. She doesn't want to hear anything. Now, the law you're applying there is the law of focus. And the law of focus says that if you are able to put your mind on one thing sustainably, you will be stable. Meaning that, like you can see on your screen, the number one problem of man is broken focus. Check it. Everything is traced to broken focus. You want to write the content, you know you need to do it, right? But your focus is broken. You know you need to finish school in order to get a job that is going to help increase your pay. But in school, you joined bad gangs, you started sleeping around, you got pregnant, or something just happened that you lost focus. The number one problem of man, if you are able to solve the problem of our focus, you will be stable. And the action step here is to simplify your life to 3 or 4 things and give it all it takes. See, go and see. If you do research of great people, of people who are really moving and shaking, things, go and check all of them. I can place a bet on this. They are not doing plenty things. Their life is, they have a few things they do. All the other things are in the 80% category of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle. So there's the 20%, then there's the 80%. The 20% are the very important things that really determine how your life moves. Then 80% are the supporting, things that enable you to enjoy life. The 3 or 4 things always fall in the 20% category. You need to simplify your life to say, okay, for this phase, I'm focusing on God, I'm focusing on my career, I'm focusing on my business, and I'm focusing on my education. All the other things, yes, I teach about balance, but I will teach you how to balance this. This means these 3 areas are areas you must do something about daily. They are not once in 2 days or once in 3 days. Because of the level of simplification you are bringing to your life, you know that you cannot not do anything every day to not improve your education. Especially if education is part of these 3 things. If your assignment is part of these 3 things, you know that I cannot sleep without doing something in connection to why I was born or why I came to the earth. See, if you're able to simplify, in short, Mary, how many of us know Mary Kay Ash? How many of us know Mary Kay Ash? Or Mary Hashke, I don't know how they pronounce it. Do you know her? How many of us know her? You don't know Mary Kay Ash? Okay, let me help you. The lady who started the business of Mary Kay. Okay, do you know Mary Kay? What's that they put on her face? Do you know that Mary Kay? I'm not seeing any response. So good. Mary Kay. The person who discovered the Mary Kay, I think it's Mary Kay Ash. After we did search and all of that, she does just 6 things a day. 6 things. Just 6 things. And what she does is she takes one of that thing of every day when she wakes up. She takes one and she makes sure that she doesn't have any distraction until she finishes it in line with what she desired, that was a God-given goal or talent or gift for that particular day. 1, she stays there and she finishes it. 6, so she's not doing so much plenty things. A few things and give it all it takes. Of course, all the other things will come up that you need to respond to. But I'm saying that at the end of your day, you should be able to have 3, 4, 5, 6 things that are the most important, that you say this is what the 24 hours was for. The power of focus. If you are focused enough, you will be able to balance out on the days where you have distractions, you are sick, and things, because you have deposited enough focus. That's the key. The key is not perfection. The key is depositing enough focus on the target to help you, such that the days maybe you need to go out, you need to have some time and all of that, you are not worried, because you've deposited enough focus to withdraw in the form of any distraction. So this focus must be daily, must be weekly, and must be monthly. So the action step is to simplify your life. Okay, these are the priority things right now for the next 3 months. I'm going to give us an exercise after this that is going to lead us into, for the next organized living. It's an exercise that if you do, you're not going to come back here and not have a change of thinking, because it works. And from time to time we shuffle people in organizing, because some folks have been attending from number 1 till now, because this meeting for them is a meeting to just say, it's not like they are coming to hear anything really new. They just want to come and check, am I still focused? This person has a spirit. Organized living has a spirit of putting me in check. That's why some people come. That's all. So number 1 key of mastering stability towards your target is the law of focus. Please help me type out in the group the law of focus. You can screen munch this. The action step there is to simplify your life to 3 things, then give it all it takes. Simplify your life to 3, 4 things, and give it all it takes. I know you say, bro, to me, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. Yes, I understand. But at the end of every day, let there be 3, 4, 5, 6 things that is all your day summarizes. You cannot continue like that for 5 years and not be outstanding in whatever you want to do. The next law, or the next key to mastering stability towards your target, is growth mindedness. Now, this is very important. This being growth minded is a level higher than being goal minded. Having a goal, setting goals and accomplishing goals, that is good, but a level higher is growth mindedness. The reason why this is important towards the stability of your goals is because you are always in that growth mode. You are always in that evolving mode. You are tired of the state of existing in a state for too long. It makes sure you are stable towards your target. So if you see anybody that has started out something and they no longer are like that, they no longer are thinking in a particular way, it is because they are on a growth mission. They are in an evolving mode as man. They are in an evolving mode as regards their target. And what does growth mindedness mean in terms of action step? It means an ongoing capacity enlargement towards this target. So let me give you a very simple example. What was an ongoing capacity enlargement? You know that for you to become what you are supposed to become, you need a minimum of 20 certifications throughout your lifetime or 30. And you are still like in your 25, 26, 27, 28. Meaning between now and 80 or 90 or 100, that's the time you have. It means, and that means education is a priority for you. It means that if you have a target of, say, do a professional or go to school or do something that will enable me to have enlarged capacity once in 2 years or once in 3 years, that is growth mindedness. You have an ongoing enlargement capacity. Because you have that mindset, you will be stable. See, listen, these are principles regardless of if life is going, because life has that attribute of going up and down, things you did not plan for, things you did not prepare for. Yes, we are in the same life together. These principles outlive the wavy expressions of life. You cannot always be like this in your walk with God. You will not be able to evolve in the person that will carry out that specific assignment he's saying you should carry. So growth mindedness means ongoing enlarged capacity in how you think, in your walk with God, if you are a believer, in your finance. You can't be thinking about money like this in the next 2 years. The way you have been thinking no, you have to keep evolving. So you cannot be growth minded and not be stable, because you have something that you are evolving into. Quick one before we wrap up, is already past 8. Interesting. Stephen Covey taught something about production versus production capacity. And he talked about the farmer and the golden geese. So there's a farmer, quick one, in like 2 minutes, I'll just say the story. So this farmer was a very, very, rich old, was not really rich, was like a poor old farmer. Then he went to his farming this one day, and he saw a golden geese, like a geese. And he saw that, he took the geese into the house and was just taking care of the geese. And before you know it, the geese was giving it golden eggs. Real golden eggs. And when he saw the golden egg, he was like, wow, this is marvelous. He melted it, sold it, made money. Every time you take care of the geese will give birth to a golden egg, will sell it. This was all this man was doing, this farmer. And at the end of the day, got so rich. But one time, he became impatient. Right? And after a while, he just said, see, you know what? I can no longer wait for the production capacity of this thing. I want to kill the goose and take out all the eggs, all the golden egg that is inside the goose or the geese, as the case may be. And by the time he did that, of course, who can tell me what he found out? What did he find out? You know the end of the story if you've heard that story before. If you've heard that story before, you should know. Now, what did Stephen Covey try to use that story to teach? Of course, he did not find any golden geese. His impatience, is killing the goose. The principle behind it is the thing that produces your increase. For example, your mind. The things that make sure that you eventually become successful, you have to keep taking care of them. For some of you, it's your focus. For some of us here, it's your state of mind part time. You know that you must not be disturbed in order to produce the things that are going to help you in your career, in your academics. So the work must be done on keeping your mind. See, that was the number one reason, if you are here as a student, I didn't get into a relationship on campus. It's not everybody's principle. It's my own personal life. Because I only had capacity to focus on 3 or 4 things successfully. So all I did in school was I did fellowship, I did academic mentoring, and I focused on my academics. If I did anything more than that, if I had a relationship, it was going to be trouble for me. Because I like love. So if the girl says she's not doing in school, I can forget what I'm going to write. So in order to take care of my production capacity to come out to the first class eventually in the glory, somebody's distracting me. In order to come out eventually, that's my wife anyways. To come out eventually as a high-flying student, my mind capacity had to be taken care of. I could not do business. It's just my own. I couldn't do business because I didn't have that bandwidth. So you need to take care of the thing that produces your goals. For some of you, it's time. You need ample time to be able to create, maybe come up with things that will help you fulfill the call that God has put in your life. So for some of us, we need to invest in relationship with senior colleagues, with senior people, in order to grow. Some of us, we need constant exposure to a certain level of thinking and life to be able to make sure that you are stable. This is what it means to be growth-minded. You cannot be like this for 30 years and not be stable because you already have systems in place to ensure that your vision is before you. Your vision, the things you want to be, the things you want to do, you have systems in place. Your friends are thinking it, your mentors are talking it, your child is saying it, your wife is reminding you, your master goal is there. When you are on Instagram, you are seeing it. When you're on Facebook, you are seeing it. So you are conditioned to be stable. Even regardless of what Nigeria is saying or something. This is number 2 key towards mastering your targets. You need to be growth-minded in that area, in that thing that you feel God has called you to. You need to be seeking the next level of growth. And lastly, before I take questions, is to mastering our targets, to be stable, is to leverage on your energy streams. To leverage on your energy streams. What does this mean? I don't copy this from anywhere. It's just inspirational. Number 1, when I mean by energy streams, remember we are talking about the keys to mastering stability towards your target. Number 1, where do you get inspired? How do you get inspired? How do you stay inspired? Because every one of us needs inspiration in what we have been called to do, in what we have been called to become. What supplies the required vibe to move on consistently for you? For me, one of the ways I get inspired is I need to be alone from time to time. Another way I get inspired is I need to talk to my coach. I need to report myself where I'm not doing fine. These days, one of the ways I also get inspired is to talk to my wife. I found that out recently. Another way I get inspired is to read books. Once I'm just feeling this thing, I just go and carry a book, one old book. I just open it. Another way I get inspired for me personally is to look at my old journals and writings. I will tell you why leveraging on your energy streams is important towards stability, towards your goals. Let me finish. Who represents new energy level? Who is that person that you call? And the person gives you this vibe of, reminds you. Who represents new energy level? There are people you call, they always bring, they are drama people, they always bring trouble. their voice, this shawala. Who represents energy level? Which team do you have in place that can help? When I talk about team now, I'm not just talking about football team. I'm talking about people you consult in order to finalize decision. What should you watch? What should you listen to? What do you listen to? These are places where you gain energy. Now, listen to what I said. Leverage on your energy streams to focus on your target. This is important because there are times that you'll be discouraged. There are times you will be, you'll not be focused. You need to have the system in place to be able to gain energy so that you can move on. This is your recharging cycle when you, in quote, have used up your battery. That thing you need to do to stay in touch, to keep the energy flowing. That's your energy stream. And that's one of the ways to master stability. You need to leverage on your energy streams. So 3 things I've said so far to leverage on your mastering stability towards your target. 1 is focus. Focus at all levels. 2 is you need to be growth-minded, ongoing, expanding capacity in how to manage your time, how to maximize your goals, how to set your goals better. On Twitter, I follow a lot of these people. And thirdly, will be leveraging on your energy streams. Where does your energy come from? Some people they go for retreats. They draw energy from God to be able to focus. And they do it consistently. They don't wait for the end of the year. So, before I take questions, I want to give us an exercise. This is an upgraded version of organized living. I want to give us an exercise for the next 90 days. And you're not submitting to me, don't worry. It's just an exercise to help you. Number 1, visualize and verbalize the next 90 days. The next 90 days from today is March 6, 2023. In view of your accomplished target and purposes. And of course, I am a believer. I draw my plans from God. Then I do the principles. You are to discover your why, not create your why. Don't worry, that's for another day. So visualize and verbalize the next 90 days in view of your accomplished target and purpose. What does that mean? It means that there is where you are going to be in March 26, 2023. It's a day. It's 90 days from now. Look at the areas you are focusing on. That's why I said write down. The next point is write down 3 to 6 things that must be done by you in these 90 days. Look at them, take them one by one, visualize them, verbalize them week on week. 2 is to write them down. Now, this is very applicable to what God has called you to do, to the visions, to the assignment that God has put in your heart. If you don't do this, it will not happen. Everybody you have seen have done it, have done one form or the other of this. Then lastly, is to increase your major targets and goals visitation weekly. What does that mean? You need to create a way whereby you can have time to look at your big vision. Because it is looking at your big vision that keeps you in check. You need to create time for it within these next 90 days. You need to create time for this. So, the exercise is to write down things that must happen. So, I want you to look at your notepad. Let's just take 1 minute for this before we take question. Let's see what we can do. Visualize the next 90 days. Let's go ahead. Visualize March 26, 2023. Don't say would we be alive by then? Do you want to die? Do you want to die? It says only God that knows tomorrow. I don't want to die. I've chosen not to die. So don't think about it. Would we be alive by then? No, you'll be alive. So visualize and verbalize the next 90 days. Look at it in view of your work with God. Look at it in view of where you would be in your education. If you are doing a master's, where would you be? What should you do to make sure that you come up with a distinction? If you have a business, you currently have 5 customers or 3 customers. In 90 days, you expect that they come like 5x. 5x means you have about 9 or 10 more people. That makes it like 15. So visualize it. This, you can't do this consistently and not begin to, I don't want to use the law of attraction, no, and not begin to walk in line with it. I mean, this is also concerned your target. You have a vision for ladies, you have a vision for men, you have something towards helping people and their mind. You need to do this. And you can see, I said write down 3 to 6 things that must happen by this time. I'm not saying write down 50 goals. No. 3 to 6 things that must be done by you in these 90 days. You want to write a book in the next 90 days. It's time to visualize it. Speak about it. Write it down. Do this every weekend for just 30 minutes. There is no way you will not be jolted, if there's a word like that, to go and do something about it. Because if you continue like this, all of a sudden you find out that day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, I've not done anything on this thing, and I'll come and measure myself again by weekend. Because of that consistency of viewing, your mind is conditioned to say, no, you have to do something about this thing today. This exercise we're going to revisit by March. The next organized event will be in March, and I hope that you would have been able to birth and create, because you are a creator. I taught it in BMT, Beauty Men Thoroughly. You are a creator. I hope you'll be able to have bettered and created the new lines of experiences of mankind. Oh yes, you should also be able to create experiences of mankind. Yeah, because you have that capacity that is within your call. You are important. You are important to the streams of actions, to the streams of vision, to the streams of solutions, to the streams of assignment. You are important to produce that in the next 90 days. Somebody will check your blog, somebody will check your YouTube. You would have also become a content producer. You would have become a solution provider in another 90 days. And because you have done that, you begin to attract people at that level. All right, so that'll be all on organized living for this particular edition. It's a great year. We're excited to be alive, right? We are growing strong. We're growing consistent. So I don't know if anyone has questions or comments or advice, before we call it a day. Really, it's already so fast. It's already 8:26, and thank you for staying through. We had at least 20 people, 25 people from time to time. Good, consistent number so far. All right. Does anybody have a question? Does anybody have a comment? Does anybody have something they want to say? The particular thing I said that is not clear, that you need explanation on. Let's do that in another 5 minutes. While we wait for questions to come up, in case you want to use the mic, feel free to use the mic. You can join Organized Living Tribe. My website is www.timiawese.com. In the coming months, it's going to be very, very a tool and a place for most of these things to happen. We'll keep upgrading from time to time. Then if you are here, you have not joined our WhatsApp community, you should join our WhatsApp community. It's very, very important, because from week in, at least once in a week, once in 10 days, I will drop something there around pushing. I'll drop something there around your assignment. I'll drop something about focusing on your goal. I'll drop tips. I just drop things from time to time. We also take extractions from the previous OL and put it there in case people have forgotten and all of that. Then subscription to email. I send emails from time to time too, to ensure that you are focused, to ensure that you fulfill the reason why you came on earth, to ensure that by the time you are 50 years of age, you will not only have made money, you will not only have built houses, you will not only have bought cars, you would have done the exact reason why you came on earth. You would have looked back and said 50 years ago, somebody was born, but 50 years now, these are the seeds of the existence of this person that is watching me. Because in you there are fruits. You are a seed that's supposed to be sown, that was sown into the earth to produce seeds of solution, seeds of product, seeds of services, seeds of answers to people's question. You, they are looking at me in your room, that you are thinking, does this mean? Yes. In you is our solution, our processes, our products that thousands upon thousands of people need to use. And by age of 50, there's a level of that should have happened to the world. There's a book that's new, there's song, there's content, there are, I don't know, your area of interest or the area of your gifting, your calling, and your assignment and target. But the idea is that organized living has served as a bridge to help you in this time. Subscribe to the email too. If you register for the event, of course, you would have gotten it. And also, I do one-on-one accountability sometime for people who, because these days, time is really, really a big deal for me. I used to do that form of accountability before, where I have a host of people, then I tell them, okay, do this, do that, do this. But these days, I don't have so much. I just have this select few of people that I follow up from time to time. All right, and we have sessions, like we have like such as 1 hour. They are telling me about this. Okay, I say, oh, you do it like this. Okay, use this tool. Okay, talk to that person. And most of these things are really, really, really helpful to these ones. And that's it for organized living for this particular event. Does anyone have any question? I just dropped my phone number in the chat, just in case you don't have my number. Chat me up. I'll add you to the group. The recording of this we are rolling in about 2 weeks, once we have converted the audio to the video and all of that. And it will be uploaded on YouTube, and the audio would also be given free of charge. We're not charging you anything. It's just the idea to be able to know that we have contributed towards your success in becoming all that God has created you to become on the earth. All right, so thank you everyone. Again, God bless you. Thank you for joining Organized Living. I'm open to your questions if they are. I don't know. Are there questions? Are there questions?
You got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole world in your hands.
Hey, Dolapo, how are you?
You got the whole world in your hands. Commando, commando.
Feel free to call me in case you have questions. If you case you want to ask here.
Everything is to go up for me. Me and no dick to the room.
I'm still waiting for your questions, so I'm just chilling.
You make the blessing come down on my door. And if I want to go
Hey, Mr. Sheyi. Respect. Amen. Glory. Alright guys, I'll send you the recording. Patrick, Muslims. Alright. Amen. I hope you're able to take action steps.
Thanks for having us, sir.
Hey, Toby Creatives. I hope you have some action steps.
I no need to come up from you, your device. And I put this steady above. Everything I want, I order. Everything nice and smooth. Maybe like the drop. You don't need to focus me. Everything I want, I order. Everything nice and smooth. Maybe like the drop. You got me home.
Alright guys, catch you later. God bless you. Watch out for the recording.